I think
Would
that's a
you urge the
conversation.
NHS England to publish the full report?
I think this is about being able to treat people and get people diagnosed and treated on time.
Almost 30% of people are not getting treatment within 62 days.
You know what's more painful than watching a politician dodge a question? Watching a politician dodge the same question 9 times in a row while the interviewer slowly loses the will to live. That's exactly what happened on Good Morning Britain when Health Minister Karin Smyth turned up, presumably to talk about literally anything other than what she was actually asked about. Ed Balls tried, bless him, he really tried to get a straight answer. 9 attempts, 9 glorious, excruciating attempts, and what did he get? A masterclass in political waffle. Welcome to UK Political Insight, where we break down the moments that make you want to throw your remote at the telly. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more updates. Thank you. So here's the setup. It's the day before Rachel Reeves drops the autumn budget. Tensions are high, nerves are frayed, and everyone wants to know one very simple thing. Are Labour's manifesto tax pledges still standing? You remember those pledges, right? The ones plastered all over their campaign during the election. We will not increase taxes on working people. Specifically, no rises to income tax, VAT, or national insurance. Pretty clear, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to remember. Except, and here's where it gets spicy, it's looking increasingly like Rachel Reeves is about to drive a double-decker bus straight to those promises in the budget. So naturally, Ed Balls asks Karin Smyth a perfectly reasonable question. Will you repeat those manifesto pledges today, or are they off the table? Simple yes or no, right? Wrong. So wrong. Karin Smyth rocks up to the GMB studio, probably thinking she's going to chat about the NHS, talk up the 10-year health plan, maybe throw in a few buzzwords about delivering for working families. What she didn't bank on was Ed Balls being absolutely relentless. And fair play to him because he smelled blood in the water from the first answer. He asks her straight out, what did Rachel Reeves tell you last night at the meeting? Are the manifesto pledges still intact? Will you repeat them today, or are you dodging them like Keir Starmer's been doing? Smyth's response? Classic politician deflection. She starts waffling about how Rachel was in great form, how they talked about the cost of living, how they're focused on protecting the NHS. All lovely stuff, sure, but absolutely not an answer to the question. Ed, bless him, tries again. He's like a dog with a bone at this point. My question was about the tax promises. What did she say about that? And Smyth hits him with the line every journalist dreads, I'm not going to talk about any tax stuff, and I think you know that. Oh, we know, all right. We know you're not going to talk about it because the second you do, you're either admitting Labour's breaking its manifesto or you're lying through your teeth. Bit of a pickle, isn't it? But Ed doesn't give up. He rephrases, he clarifies, he practically spells it out in neon lights. I'm not asking you to reveal what's in the budget. I'm simply asking if the manifesto pledges still stand, yes or no. Can you repeat them or not? It's genuinely one of the simplest questions you could ask a politician. It's not a gotcha, it's not a trap. It's literally just asking if the thing you promised 6 months ago is still a thing you stand by. And what does Smyth do? She doubles down on the waffle. I'm not going to talk about anything to do with tax the day before the budget. Which again, fine, but that's not what you're being asked. At this point, Ed's getting visibly frustrated, and honestly, who can blame him? He tries again. Did Rachel Reeves say last night that the manifesto pledges stand, as she said 2 months ago, or not? It's a factual question about something that allegedly happened in a meeting. And Smyth's response? I wasn't at the entire meeting last night. Oh, come on. That's not even a dodge. That's a full-on sprint in the opposite direction. She then rambles about rallying the troops and talking about broad brush issues, which sounds suspiciously like she's reading from a very boring script someone handed her in the green room. Ed, now audibly exasperated, tries to repeat the question, and Smyth actually gets snippy with him. I'm not going to repeat anything in particular because that is where it starts to lead. Where it starts to lead. Mate, it's leading to you giving a straight answer, which apparently is a fate worse than death. Ed, bless his persistence, asks again. So the manifesto pledges are currently off the table until the budget. And Smyth tries to pivot to talking about delivering on health promises, which again, nobody asked about. Then Susanna Reid weighs in, and you can hear the exasperation in her voice too. She points out that Ed's not asking about tomorrow's budget, he's asking about something Labour promised to the electorate and were elected on. It's a promise they made to voters. Surely that's something a government minister can confirm or deny without breaking some sacred budget secrecy pact. But no, Smyth claps back with more waffle about not getting into speculation and comments over the last few months. Susanna, clearly done with this nonsense, says, "So your answer is, we can't stand on the manifesto we were elected on?" Boom! That's the sound of a presenter calling out political BS in real time. Smyth, still refusing to give a straight answer, insists her manifesto is what she's there to talk about delivering. But here's the thing, delivering on your manifesto requires you to, actually stick to your manifesto, and if you're about to break a key promise in that manifesto, maybe just say so, instead of doing this excruciating dance around the question. Ed's not letting it go, though. He goes in for attempt number 8. The manifesto says we will not raise income tax, VAT, and national insurance. I'm simply asking you to repeat that or not. That's it. Just say the words. But Smyth can't or won't, and instead gives the same robotic response about not being drawn into the lead-up around the question. By this point, Ed's fully lost patience. He snaps, and honestly, good for him. What on earth is the point of you coming on this program at all if you refuse to answer questions which are not about the budget? He's right. What is the point? If you're going to turn up to an interview and just repeat the same non-answer 9 times, why bother showing up? Just send a cardboard cutout with a pull string that says, "I'm here to deliver on our manifesto," and call it a day. But Ed's not done. He lays it out crystal clear. Nobody is asking you about what's in the budget tomorrow. Nobody is asking you to get involved with speculation about tax rises. We're simply asking whether you will tell us that Labor's manifesto still stands, and I think the answer you're giving is no because you're waffling all over the place. Either it stands or it doesn't. And you know what? He's absolutely right. This isn't complicated. This isn't a trick question. It's a binary choice. Does the manifesto pledge stand or not? And Smyth's refusal to answer tells you everything you need to know. They don't stand. Labor is about to break its manifesto, and they're too scared to admit it before the budget drops. What makes this even more frustrating is that it plays right into the narrative that politicians are slippery, that they'll say anything to get elected and then do the opposite once they're in power. And that erodes trust. It makes people cynical. It makes people think, why bother voting if they're all going to lie anyway? And that's genuinely damaging to democracy.